Here is a more in-depth tour of my DIY inflatable fishing raft that, yes, it is motorized. I do actually have motors, but they're not mounted right now because they usually go underneath it, and I didn't want to put all this weight on it on land with the motors, but we'll talk about that. So pretty much all you need to do this build is something to sit on, an inflatable island. They're usually called inflatable docks on Amazon, and I will link all this stuff below exactly so you can find what I use. But I have some thoughts, some things I like, some things I would do different. But as far as the dock, just any inflatable dock, I believe this is a what do you think this is? A 5x5 probably? Or no, it's a 5x8, I believe. I don't know how big it is. I'll figure it out and I will link this size below, but I don't think I would want any bigger. At first I thought I did, but this is actually perfect because I have all my stuff back here, but most of the time I spend chilling right here, and usually I don't have two backpacks. This one's not really supposed to be here, or I can turn around and fish this slot right here. So this size is perfect. I really think it's all you need. Any bigger, it would be harder to move to the water, take in and out. And this whole thing is pretty light, but I will link the inflatable dock. But another thing that I like about this one in particular is it does come with an anchor rope. So I guess we'll go ahead and show the anchor. I have it tucked under my seat right here, under my seat. And I have a 20-pound mushroom style better boat anchor. Now the reason I have 20 pounds is because this is more of a pond rig versus like going in the bay or even a main lake. And a lot of ponds have sticks and just soft mud. So I didn't want to use like a grapnel style anchor that would get caught on a bunch of sticks. This is a lot easier to pull out of brush and something if you get into it. And so, you know, it's not grabbing anything. So that's why I went with a heavier 20-pound weight. So I will link that. Better Boat sells that. And this is absolutely perfect for this exact vessel for the type of fishing that we do in this thing. But this does come with a rope and a swim ladder. So that's pretty cool. Now, something that I don't like with this build is actually the seat. Now, the seat works fine, but you can't actually buy this. This is from a different boat that I have. It's an inflatable boat. It's a Kickstarter boat. It's this whole thing for the main channel, and you can't really get it. But honestly, I would just get a lawn chair or two. One lawn chair, one little bench, or even better yet, like one of those drummer stools that you can just put right here, have way more room because this takes up a lot of the raft. That way you can swivel 360 degrees. So I would save yourself the headache, get like one of those little padded drummer stools, or maybe even something with a chair back that swivels, so that way you can actually lean back, because I do wish I had a chair back, but something that swivels 360 degrees with a chair back that could sit right here that doesn't have wheels on it, not an office chair. Maybe you could modify an office chair. I'll see if I can find something on Amazon and link it in the description that I think that I would like to replace this with, because this does take up a lot of room. But right here we have the tackle bag, because you'll want some sort of tackle storage. And I'm not using the cooler, and I will show you why I'm not using the cooler for tackle storage, but this has everything that I need. This is just a camera bag. This usually isn't here, so I guess I can move that. But then you're gonna want some sort of paddle. Now, I don't usually leave my paddle right here. I like a stand-up paddleboard paddle versus a kayak paddle because it's just flat out too big to really paddle like a kayak. So, I mean, it's gonna be a struggle. So honestly, it's easier to just stand up and do slower movements like this. Also, you press one button on a standard paddleboard paddle, and you can slide it underneath your feet to just kind of get it out of the way. So this works pretty good for my particular setup. Now let's move over to the cooler. This is kind of the main event, and I was filming a video for the main channel today, and it was honestly an epic failure, but my rod holder broke. So my rod holder is coming out. But anyway, this actually worked pretty good. I broke this setup on an e-bike. I had it on the back of an e-bike and it fell over and broke. But anyway, this is a Igloo cooler. I don't remember the exact size, but it is only $30. So I will find this exact one. And the reason I like it is because you can buy these cheap rod holders from Amazon or really anywhere, and you can screw them directly in there with a little bit of super glue. Like I said, this one has been on phenomenally for over a year now, and I broke that because it was on the back of my e-bike, fell over. Anyway, but I will link the cooler and I will link the rod holders below. Then you can just screw them right into the cooler. Another reason I like it is because it does have a ruler on top with centimeters and inches right here. So, you know, bass fishermen mostly use scales. Saltwater fishermen, which is what I was whenever I made this cooler, or built this cooler, or whatever you want to call it, we go by inches, not weight. So inside, you can see how I'm actually running the motor. So let me show you the motor itself. It's super dirty because I just got off the water after like a couple hours. But here are the thrusters. I'll give you a different angle of them, but basically they go to the glue-on adhesive mounts that come with this motor, and it connects to a standard 12-volt battery. Now, the 12-volt 50 amp hour is all you need because they only have 7 pounds of thrust, so it's not sucking a lot of juice, and this is only 11 pounds, and it's Bluetooth, so you can scan your QR code on your phone, and your phone will tell you exactly how much time you have remaining on the water until your battery dies. But it's also lithium, which is why it's so light. So you can use 100% of that 50 versus a lead acid battery. You're probably really only gonna get 20-25% capacity versus this, you get actually 100% before you start losing speed. So I like this because it fits inside the cooler, just like that. The little motor module can connect to the battery, and then these cables will actually run inside the cooler. So the cooler won't close all the way, but I can still use it for some additional storage. And then boom, you have the motors mounted underneath. And then I also keep a portable fish finder. Since there's no great way to mount a fish finder to this vessel, this is basically the cheapest fish finder in the world, but it's supposed to mark fish. It's not really great at that, but it's great for water temperature and depth. So I just kind of have this, and I can leave it hanging off in there, close this, and we're good to go. So this is pretty much for fish finder, motor, and batteries all in here. So that's why this cooler is actually like one of the most essential parts, because it serves a lot of functions. A little bit of storage, holds the batteries, rods, and it has a nice ruler on top. But even this ruler, if you don't plan on measuring anything, it's nice to have a flat surface to set something on if you're rigging up lures that has these rivets, these grooves, so that way it's not just rolling off or sliding off. So this is pretty grippy. So this cooler is absolutely perfect. But, oh, and if you're looking for a good net, I do have this Cast King net. It's so old. It actually has a hole in it, but it's perfect because it can just fit really anywhere. It's retractable. It's not the biggest net in the world, but if you're pond fishing, it'll be just fine. And then you can pull it out maybe, just like that. And you have a net ready to go. And when you're done, you can just stow it underneath you and you don't have to worry about it. But that is an in-depth tour of my inflatable fishing island. I really like it. It's a pretty fun pond build because you don't want to lug a John boat down in there. This thing is so stable. You can walk around it. You can stand on the bench. It's comfortable. You can carry 2 to 3 people. And it's just, you hear that beeping? I think that's the, oh, that's the, I know what that is. It's the remote to the motor that's beeping at me. I'll show you the remote real quick, but pretty simple. And the, I'll link it below, but I think the motor only cost $120. So it's really, really, really cheap. Anyway, everything will be linked in the description below so you can recreate this, except for, well, I'm not gonna link this bench because you can't really get it, but I will find something that I think would be even better for this setup below. As always, all the glory goes to our Father in heaven. Tight lines, and God bless.